Okay, I'm doing something I've never done, making a YouTube video, because I was watching earlier today, sorry I'm not the best camera woman, some videos on methadone, the pros and cons, taking methadone, having babies on methadone, just all the topics that can come along with it. And by the time I watched about 15-20 minutes of it, I was so irritated, I said, I'm going to speak up for the other half, you know? Almost all the videos had people who were absolutely wrecked, like couldn't keep their head up, were snoring, drooling on themselves. There are those people. But let me say, number one, that is not from just medically monitored doses of methadone. That is from methadone plus what we call the cocktail down here, which is at least benzos and clonidine, usually maybe adding some Johnnies, promethazine. That is a huge cocktail of pills that kick in the methadone, but also are primarily the pills that are making them like that. So when you see people in that condition, they're not just taking a dose of methadone monitored by doctors and nurses and then looking like that. So can I clear up that? Number two, those are the same people that you see hanging all around the areas of a clinic, going in and out of businesses, drug dealing, nodding out at McDonald's, just generally making the public and society disgusted with the whole thing. But that is just one part of the people that go in the clinic. I don't want to say the majority, but there is a large amount of people who, like myself, go and are there for maybe a minute, 2 minutes max, take a little drink, and gone. Never, nothing else to do with that place unless I have to be there for my monitored counseling once a week. You would never know we're on the clinic. We don't walk around all fucked up. Because if I'm going to be all fucked up, I'm going to go back to doing heroin, right? That's my attitude. We just don't engage in those behaviors anymore. We're not dealing. So it drives me crazy, though, because the people that get their dose and go on with life, they're the quiet majority, the quiet people. You know what I mean? You don't see those people. You don't hear about those people. You probably have people in your life that would shock you to know they were in the clinic, from doctors down to the prostitutes, all kinds, because addiction affects all kinds. The thing is, these people who are still getting fucked up, and that's what society sees, addiction, methadone primarily takes care of the body, the withdrawals, the cravings, but the mind, addiction is in here, lives in here. So if you don't treat in here and don't do the really hard, shitty, fucking painful work, you'll just move on to something else. Methadone blocks heroin for the most part. You can't feel it. So they will become crackheads, or they'll eat pills like you would not believe. Meth, whatever. They don't fix in here and in here. So they are still active addicts. And that gives everybody on methadone a bad name. And I'm sick and tired of it. Now, are there cons, bad things that come with methadone? Absolutely. To be 30 and have dentures sucks. To be fat when you never were sucks. But I'm alive, you know what I mean? So I'll take fat, and I'll take not being maybe as cute as I used to be here and be present in my children's lives. I also don't think methadone should be something that people just get on unless they haven't tried other things. I know how many detoxes I've been to, and I know where I can end up in programs, prisons, institutions. I've done that. And on top of that, had a child who had severe special needs, and his father had just died from a heroin overdose. So someone in my position, what do? There are very, very few programs for women with children specifically, right? And I'm not getting clean to leave my kids. So, and especially where I have a sick child who's in the hospital for almost a year. So my options are very, very limited. I'm not going to leave him for 7 days to go to detox because he could die in 7 days. So my option was continue to use drugs or get on the clinic. I got on the clinic. Are there days when I absolutely detest it and regret it and wish I never did it? Absolutely. It sucks. Not only the way physically it changes how you look, and you don't have much control over that, but also the fact that I am so tied to this place, that this place runs my life, that I can't go on vacation, or I can't sleep in one night, or I can't do a lot of things. But I have to flip that, and I have to say, okay, but where was I headed, and what have I achieved? There's been relapses, but there's also been, 7-9 years of sobriety where I started all the way down at the bottom. I started at the GED and worked my way all the way up to Harvard. So the clinic has given me life, number one. It's given me the ability to make sure I am present in my children's lives on a daily basis. I grew up with parents who are drug addicts, and almost everybody around me are drug addict and in the ghetto. And I refused, when I got pregnant with my child 21 years ago, I said to myself, I promise I will not give him that life. I'm going to fuck up. I'm 17 having a baby, but I'm not going to give him a junked out mother. For the most part, I've kept that promise, but I am an addict, and it's a constant work in progress. But I just feel like people have got to see the other side of the coin. There are so many people that you would never know. They don't look like that. They're not fucked up. They're out in society taking care of their responsibilities, being fathers and mothers, and just know that there's a whole different side. Those people just don't want to step forward. I don't necessarily want to step forward and have my face all over the YouTube as someone in the clinic. But the reality is, I can't take anymore the stigma that goes along with watching people like that. You know, I've never understood why do be on heroin and why have all the downfalls and the bullshit you got to deal with if you're just going to be fucked up anyways. But that's their journey, not mine. You know, I feel like lately people have been like downing everybody else for how they got clean. Well, you did it this way. Yeah, but you got clean. And who gives a fuck? Because you know what? I don't have any needles in my arm. I don't have heroin in my system. I'm not scamming and spending every dollar I got. I'm not doing those things. And for me, the outside could fall apart. I didn't give a fuck. Prison, lose everything. I could care less. But what finally got me is looking in the eyes of my babies and saying, what am I giving them? I might be physically here every day, but they got a dead father now. And a mother that's going to be fucked up? No, I won't do it. And those babies, I loved more than I hated me, you know, and they gave me a purpose. They gave me something to live for. So as a single mother with a deceased parent and a child sick, if I had to get on a methadone clinic, that's what I had to do. You know, people got to be they're so quick to judge everybody, and everybody's story is complex, and things are not black and white. Nobody wants to be on a clinic. People do what they got to do to save their lives. For me, it was life or fucking death. And if I ever lost my kids, God forbid, done. Bullet to the brain. I don't have family. I have a fucked up childhood. All I have is them 3 babies. And thank God. I think so many times, like, wow, everybody I grew up with is either dead or in jail, but most are just dead. And how was I so blessed to get the gift that I've got? However the fuck I got it, what does it matter? I'm clean today. I'm not on a drug today. And why is it that people aren't happy for that and don't celebrate that? Right? So please, when you see that person all fucked up and they're saying it's their methadone, bullshit. Call it out. Call it for what it is. Because when I take my dose, it's the same thing as if I took a Tylenol. There is no effect at all. And there shouldn't be from jump unless you're lying about your habit and you get on whatever. That's a whole other thing. I'm just saying, you know, when people are struggling and trying to do right and try to better themselves, and congratulate that. You know what I mean? Say, good job. Is it hard? Yeah, I'm scared to death. I want to get off more than I want anything because it's been way too long. But like I said, people's lives aren't black and white, and things happen you don't expect. You know, my kids were grown, and I got pregnant with my daughter. It was shocking my life. At 7 milligrams of methadone. And they said, you can't leave, you'll lose it. Yeah, all right, I'm out. Because I judged all them girls who had babies on methadone. Then I almost lost my baby and I had to stay on the methadone. So just, you know, try not to judge people because you don't know someone's story. And especially when it comes to being like a parent. I don't know any mother or father who loves their children that says, this shit's easy. Like, I got this. I ain't never fucked up. We all fucked up. We all have done things we wish we didn't do or are shameful. But I do believe that we all wake up the next day trying to give it all we got, right? Whether it's my sobriety or my babies. Every night I say a prayer to God to please open my eyes to what I've done wrong, to give me the strength to be a better mother tomorrow. And that's all for right now. For me, all I can do is stay clean, be the best mother I can possibly force and twist myself into being, and just do the next right thing. That's it. And I fuck up all over the place. I'm straight out of my mind. I got a gutter mouth. I don't give much of a motherfucker about what anyone thinks. That's just who I am. Take it or leave it. You can leave it. But please don't look at these fucking people who are standing up but their foreheads on the sidewalk and let them tell you that's from a dose of methadone. That's bullshit.